That 70s Remodel, a Build Original series, is brought to you by Huber Engineered Woods.
This home started with all the usual 1970s problems. Dated design, poor insulation, and inefficient materials that just couldn't keep up with today's standards. But this isn't just a cosmetic update, it's a full performance overhaul, and that starts with the building envelope. Upgrading the enclosure to zip system R sheeting helped us boost the home's thermal performance while streamlining our install. It gave us a continuous exterior insulation and a built-in water-resistant barrier all in one step. In Utah's variable climate, we rely on zip system products for both remodels and new builds. They help us manage moisture, air leakage, and insulation without overcomplicating the wall assembly. With Zip System and AdvantTech, we get fewer steps, faster installation, and job site durability that holds up even when the weather doesn't cooperate. These are trusted brands among top builders for a reason: reliability, performance, and ease of use on real-world job sites. Learn more and check out available rebates at huberwood.com. Hey guys, Stephanie Daly with Stephen Daly Construction, and today this is episode 2 of That 70s Remodel, and we are talking about framing. We've gone through and done the demolition. Now is the time that we're going to go in and start touching up some of the rotten or damaged framing. Let's get going. All right, so one of the first things that we decided to come through and actually remove and replace were these fascia boards. Now, they had quite a bit of water damage. The biggest problem with them though was that they were slightly hanging off the side of the roof and really not attached very well. So we decided to pull them down and replace them on this lower roof entirely. These older boards were actually a true 4 inches. And with that being said, we decided to come through and replace them with 2x6. So you can see the pieces above me that we've already replaced. We're working down the side of the garage now to get those replaced because we have the roofing contractor here ready to pull some sheets on the roof that need to be replaced because of softness and start getting this roof dried in. Let's go around front and check it out. Let's talk a little bit about termite damage, how we know we have termite damage and what we're gonna do to repair it. So first off, there's not a ton of termite issues here in Utah. So when we start to see wood pieces that have tunneling and a lot of the brown dust around, it's a really clear sign that we have some termite damage. In this case here, I think it's a good mixture of a water damage and termite damage because we have had a piece of the roof that's been leaking water in this area for years. You can actually see behind me, the plywood sheet underneath this fireplace is completely rotted away from water over the years. What we've decided to do is remove all of the lumber below the roof that has significant water damage. We're gonna brace up this portion here while we tear all of these 2x4s out. We're actually going to replace the sill as well. We've got some treated lumber that we're gonna come through. We'll pull this old one out. We'll put a piece of foam sill down first, use some PL, and get a new treated 2x4 down and then replace these verticals. Anytime we can come through and replace some of the damaged wood, especially termite damage, we never want to come back and cover this up. So we try and get it torn out and replaced as much as we can. Let's go around back. We have a little bit of termite damage on the back side of a floor truss. I'm going to show you how we decided to repair those. Let's go check it out. Got to be a little careful here because the guys are still tearing off shingles and we have lots of hazards. So here at the end of the floor trusses, we have a few floor trusses along this back side that you can see have significant termite damage. This one in particular. There is 2 pieces of lumber on the end of these floor trusses that are connected with these nailing plates. I think what we're gonna end up doing here is pulling out, because it's just the end piece of the floor truss that has damage to it. I think we're gonna pull the nail plates, pull the end pieces of these floor trusses and apply a new piece of lumber to the ends of these. The homeowner is also coming through doing some termite treatments to make sure that these don't continue to happen and issues continue to come through. But I think that's our best course of action here, where we have ends of floor trusses that are damaged. If we can get these pieces out, which are clearly weak and deteriorated, replace them with some new, stronger lumber, we're gonna do everything we can to take care of that. So, gonna go through and do some of those. Let me show you a few other areas that we've ran into a little bit of framing issues. So we actually pointed this one out on episode 1 when we were doing our demolition, but we have quite a bit of rot happening on both sides of this door. So again, we're gonna do what we can to pull out this bottom plate and replace it because it has pretty much rotted about 60% of that plate already. On the other side of the door, we actually have significant damage on the trimmer and the king stud, so we're gonna pull both of those and replace them while we're back here. We're up here on the front of the house and you can see the majority of the shingles on these roofs have been taken off. We have a little bit more to go today and then the roofing crew is gonna get it all dried in. But there are some areas up here on the roof that we're actually gonna pull the sheeting and replace it with new sheets for various reasons. I showed you in episode 1, we have a little bit of fire damage over here on the one side. We're gonna replace those sheets so that they're nice and new. We also have a few pieces up top that are a little soft and squishy. The roof's entirely torn off. Now is the time to replace those. So the crew's gonna get up, get the rest of the shingles stripped off. We'll get some of those sheets replaced. Now, as you're starting to go through these remodels and you're doing framing changes or trying to come through and fix framing issues that you're finding in the home, it's always best to get an engineer involved early on. Get someone that you can reach out to and get information as to how they would like things repaired. In this case, our engineer has been ready to talk to us at every step and every change that we've needed. We actually don't have a ton of structural damage on this house, which has been great, but getting rid of that rotten lumber ahead of time is always priority 1 for us and trying to rebuild it the best that we can. Like I said in episode 1, if you're gonna get yourself into a remodel or a renovation, always consider keeping a contingency fund for issues that you run into that are behind the walls that you don't know of when you get started, because there's always gonna be something that you're gonna find that you should replace. So that's it for framing here on the house. You guys stay tuned for more episodes of That 70s Remodel. This thing's cruising along. We got tons of stuff happening over here, and this is gonna be a really quick remodel. Follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Stephanie Builds It. We'll see you next time on The Build Show.